at the all-time list of OU recruits ranked. Okay, that's according to rating, not according to your mom's grocery list, not according to my grocery list, or even my personal favorites list. It is according to how they are rated by recruiting analysts. At number 1, Adrian Peterson, all day. Need we say more? No, we don't. He's a mutant. He's an X-Man. We understand. Number 2, Rhett Bomar. Yo. All right, so Bomar coming out of Grand Prairie at the time and says that he kind of got boxed into a commitment at Oklahoma following an Elite 11. And then we had this sort of a, well, kind of evaluation where Bomar, according to Aggie Yell at the time, looked to be not only the top quarterback in the class of 2004, but perhaps even the top player. He's your classic drop back quarterback who can run also. He has a strong arm, plus has the smarts of being a coach's son. Only thing to worry about is he's a standout baseball player who will be a high draft choice. Now, the recruiting process was down to Oklahoma and in-state power Texas. He threw on the OU hat and then got to watch the Longhorns go 11-2 in 2002 and even in there lose to Oklahoma 35-24, right? Meanwhile, Oklahoma clicking on all cylinders. Jason White is doing the doggone thing. The offense is humming along. Bomar gets to campus, sits behind Jason White and his 2 busted up knees, does not have fun as a redshirt, then proceeds to share time with Paul Thompson, throws 10 interceptions to 10 touchdowns, having a Jameis Winston kind of season, and yeah, washes out because he's getting paid for work he did not perform at Big Red Imports, and then lied to Bob about it, which is really what's gonna do you in, and that's the difference between him and Joe Mixon. Now, at number 3 on the list, the newest commitment to Oklahoma 2021 recruiting class, Caleb Williams. He is a sleeker, slender version of Russell Wilson. I almost said Westbrook. My goodness. Talk about what I got on the brain. And we're going to get into what that evaluation looks like in a little bit, but according to this list, he's 3rd. 4th is Jaden Hazelwood. 5th is Tommy Harris. 6th is DeMarcus Granger. 7th, Jeremy Calhoun. And 8th, Spencer Rattler. That means that Lincoln Riley, in just 3 years as head coach, is responsible for 3 of the top 8 all-time commits to the University of Oklahoma. 2 of them are quarterbacks, 1 of them is a wide receiver. And Caleb Williams, Jaden Hazelwood, and Spencer Rattler not only have a chance to play together, but both of those dudes could be throwing touchdown passes to Jaden Hazelwood. It's getting kind of filthy on that offense if it hasn't already been filthy. I mean, since Lincoln Riley came in and started calling plays and basically take over the Xbox controller to say, no, we're going to go 4 verticals here, averaging between 44 and 48 points per game. 2 Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks, 2 number 1 overall picks, the first coach and program, for that matter, to see 3 consecutive quarterbacks drafted in the first 2 rounds of the NFL draft. That be, yes, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, and Jalen Hurts. And now we have Caleb Williams to talk about. And the reason I spent so much time talking about Rhett Bomar is because that's what you're dealing with here. I was going through the Elite 11 after Caleb Williams won Elite 11 MVP. And I was going, man, you got such an array of busters and all-timers here. We got Asante Woolard. Do you remember Asante Woolard? I remember Asante Woolard. I remember when he was number 1 dual threat quarterback class 2012. Goes to UCLA. Know where he ends up? Clarion. Yo. I remember Ricky Towns and Sam Darnold going to Elite 11. What? I remember Zach Mettenberg and Aaron Murray going to Georgia at Elite 11. Mettenberg, by the way, is banned from returning to a particular counter in Georgia. That's my favorite Mettenberg note. Like, he can't go back. They'll arrest him on site. Yeah, Google that story. But that's kind of what we're getting at here, right? Because you could end up being AD, which is a mutant, going for 1925. And if you hadn't busted an ankle, probably talking about you winning a Heisman. Or you could be Rhett Bomar, flashy, coming out of Grand Prairie, feeling good about yourself, feeling like you are about to be next, feeling like you are the heir apparent to Jason White, only to be so bad that we have to move Paul Thompson, a wide receiver, to play quarterback. That's what it was like then. I know that some of you don't believe in recruiting and you don't believe in signing on the dotted line even now because we have the transfer portal. But if you don't believe in recruiting, perhaps you will believe in Lincoln Riley. Because in the way that Bob Stoops was a defensive coach, Lincoln Riley is an offensive coach. And what can we say about Lincoln Riley's offense and the personnel that runs it, except that those dudes pan out. And the ones that go into the portal pan out elsewhere. Quaylon Crawford goes to Arkansas. Cool. Good for him. Troy James goes to Prairie View A&M. Levi Draper goes to Arkansas. We continue to go down the list here. But if we're talking about Lincoln Riley, we're talking about stacking wins. I go back to what Lincoln Riley put at the top of his list when he's recruiting quarterbacks. Got to be accurate, sure. We like you to have a big arm, but it's not that important. The thing that is most important to him, the thing that remains true to this day, is the kid a winner? Tell you a story. Caleb Williams is playing for a conference championship in the Washington Catholic Athletic Conference. He's playing against DeMatha. And in this conference, you got to know, Markel Fultz comes out of there, John Thompson III comes out of there, Chase Young comes out of there. They know how to put out some prospects. And his team was down 20 points to open the game. They closed the gap to 14. They come out at halftime. He throws a touchdown, gets them back in, throws another touchdown, gets them a lead. And then DeMatha returns a kick with 39 seconds left to play. They're down. They need to score. Caleb Williams gets under center, trots back, rolls out, throws a Hail Mary to the end zone. It gets caught. That's how you win a championship. And it's those little bits, it's those little things that separate champs and winners from those that aren't. It's as thin as the Fiesta Bowl, where if Ohio State gets an interception, not an incompletion, if Chris Olave doesn't slip or break off his route, you're talking about Ohio State playing LSU for a national championship and not Clemson. But it's been Clemson the whole time because those little things go their way. And I believe when you stack those little things in your recruiting, like winning over everything else, that becomes a part of your program and part of your DNA. The way that I tell people that Oklahoma is QBU is not Caleb Williams, the #1 quarterback 2021 class, committing to Oklahoma. It's not Spencer Rattler, who was the #1 quarterback in the 2019 class, committing to Oklahoma and probably going to lead the charge this year. It's not Baker Mayfield, who walked on, won a Heisman, and led them to a Rose Bowl. It's not Kyler Murray, who was the first player ever drafted in the first round of both the Major League Baseball draft and the NFL draft, and won a Heisman, also led him to an Orange Bowl. It's Tanner Schaefer, who is still undefeated as a starting quarterback, 31-0. His Canadian teams are legendary. That is the bottom of the depth chart at Oklahoma in 2020. When Lincoln Riley speaks about winning, you can tell that it matters to him, so much so that even if you're walking on, I want to know that all you did was win.